One of the things that I heard somebody saying was that, and several people actually said this is a very difficult issue. It's a struggle. People are conflicted, 51-49, one way or the other. They go back and forth. And that somebody said that it was perhaps, if we were in New Jersey, the governor would ship this off to a referendum. And that was dismissed, having a popular vote by the citizens of the state of Connecticut on this issue was dismissed as mob rule.
It's been suggested to me that we should do what the governor of New Jersey would do: take a controversial issue like this, in their case it's gay marriage, and put that to a popular vote. But I can't help but think that our founding fathers were a little more prescient than that, and that's why they designed representation, so that we would not have a mob rule.
Now, since those are the same citizens that elect us, I think that it doesn't say much for us if we were elected by the mob. In point of fact, I don't think that it is mob rule to have the citizens vote. In my hometown, we vote on budgets and all kinds of things by referendum, and we vote on the Constitution of the state, the ultimate law, not the law that we make here, but the law that we have to abide by, the state Constitution. That's made by the people voting in a referendum. And I don't consider that to be mob rule. That's the ultimate law that we have to answer to. That's the organic law of the state. So with that in mind, Mr. Speaker, I have an amendment. I would hope that the clerk has in his possession LCO 3172. What this amendment would do would be to strike the underlying bill and require a referendum to be held at this upcoming election in November, at which everyone in the state of Connecticut would have an opportunity to vote on the question of, shall we have a death penalty in the state of Connecticut? I would move adoption, Mr. Speaker.
Just briefly, I want to stand in strong support of this amendment. I think it would be highly, highly educational for all of us to properly put this out to the people of the state of Connecticut in a referendum form, because as many of us have stood here today testifying that we have either met with certain individuals, groups, organizations, faith-based, victims, families, things of that nature, the only way to truly get a representation of what the residents and the people of the state of Connecticut want, and not what we're representing here as what may or may not be our districts, what may or may not be our own morals and consciousness, is to put the vote to the people. You still have the opportunity, as it was confirmed earlier, that this is just an advisory vote that would be going out, but it's one that then we would be making a responsible decision here on the floor of the House. It may change the decisions for some of you, and it may not change it for others. But what we would be doing is then making a decision based on actual facts, actual voters taking the time to go to the polls and tell us exactly how they feel about this piece of legislation. Then we can come back here together and then vote the way that we decide. And I too, Mr. Speaker, have to indicate that I did take a little offense to the term of mob rule, because again, we do have the right to vote, we exercise that right to vote, and it is the people and the residents of Connecticut that vote for us up here, and I am honored to have that right and encourage others to do so. And hopefully we can respect and allow the people of the state of Connecticut to vote their conscience, their thoughts, their beliefs on this piece of legislation without us doing it for other alternative motives. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.